Yo, what up boys and girls? Welcome to Delboy's Garage. Now tonight I want to have a little play with my handlebars. Now these are Renthals. I fitted these about some time ago. If you look back in the videos you'll see them there. And Renthals they have a little problem. And that problem is they can't fit bar weights. And I like bar weights. Bar end weights are all about stability. They are like if you've ever seen an archery bow and they have those big weights out the front, they're there for steadying the bow. When you have bar weights, it's the same principle. They're there to steady the bars, to steady the whole headstock, and also to take a bit of vibration out that the engine produces. Now normally, Renthals are alloy and they're quite flexy compared to the standard bars, which I've got on the bench over there. I took the standard bars off because they were too narrow, too close towards, they're horrible, and Renthals are just cool. And I put them on, and because they didn't have this brace initially, they're quite bendy, and that does absorb a bit of it, but you still get head shake. You're going along, you go into a bend that's got some short frequency bumps, and the front end just starts to shake its head because the bars are too light. You need more weight. Bar weights are important. Any of you guys ride sports bikes, you know full well you take your bar weights off, the bike rides like a pig, and it's pretty dangerous. So I want some bar weights. Now Renthal do a bar weight, but rather comically it's a little piece of alloy like that fits in the end. Well, it's not a weight, is it? You know, come on Renthal, it's in the name, weight. These things are alloy, they weigh nothing, so they're pointless. You need a proper steel weight, a good, 5 or 6 ounces of steel on the end, each end. And the other side of it is I've got my bar mirror. So having a bar weight outside that is normally a no-no, but since I put the brace on, it's stiffened up the bars and the vibrations have increased because there's no bar weights, and I still get weaves and headstock shakes when I'm on flippy bends because it's got no bar weights. Now, standard bars, this is the standard bars, weights. Now these things were screwed in with these big old long screws which go right in, I think almost to the middle of the continent, ridiculously long, and they go right into an expanding bolt that's kind of jammed in here, and that, kid you not, I reckon that is a good £1/4 pound, maybe even £1/2 pound of steel, and it is solid steel, and I want them on the bike. Now the problem we have is these, albeit for this rubber fitting, these are 7/8 bars, and the hole in the centre is whatever the inside diameter of a 7/8 bar is. I don't know, 5/8 I would guess. On the Renthals, they're rather poor because they're only about 12mm. And me and Mrs. Delboy were out shopping at the weekend and I found these rule plugs for brickwork, 10mm, steel. And it just had this mad idea, so much so that I bought them without realising whether they'd work or not. I just thought, it's just amazing what I thought. When you look at your Renthal bar non-weights, the little alloy dress end plugs that you get from Renthal, they have like a little expanding brass thingamajig on the inside. And a pair of them, rather madly, is about 60 quid. Yeehaw! These, £1.39. No price on them because they were B&Q, but £1.39 for a pair. So I came home, I wondered if they'd fit. They're pretty cool. They're really well made, solid cast steel expanders, proper genuine M6 raw plugs with an expanding bolt. And a little bit of adjustment, they fit perfectly in there. If you screw that in a bit, it expands, pre-expands a bit, and that screws in there. And because it's steel against alloy, that's going to grip for England. So, obviously, that's the plan. But it's not going to work by itself. So what I thunk was, take out the little bolt in the end, some music while you wait, and have a little rummage in my bolt box. And I found that. And that's got a kind of a recessed end, thinking maybe that might do it, but probably not, because that's chamfered and this is a bar end weight screw. and that fits neat. Gives me that much, kind of almost there. So that's going to do one, and the other one is going to do a little bit simpler. I've got to get it past the bar mirror, and I'm thinking that because these expand, and being steel will expand so completely and grip so tight because they're metal to metal, I can wind them up. I can put that one on outside the bar mirror. So that's the experiment. Don't know if it's going to work. Stick around, stay tuned, see if I can make this work. Right, the chamfered screw isn't so brilliant, but this is an old Suzuki GS 750 engine case screw which I've had for about 1,000 years, and it's proper beef, big old piece of kit, and it's just that 10mm longer, which goes nice. So that will screw on there, and with a B&Q rule plug, what we have, just kind of pre-screw it in so it pre-expands. These are brilliant. They've got like a piece of wire around which holds these steel expanders into place, or cast alley expanders, and as that screws in, they just pull out and expand. So kind of pre-expand it till you get a little bit of resistance. Otherwise, if you just put it in and turn it, the whole lot's just going to spin round. So just get it pre-expanded so there's a little bit of resistance there. So the work with the resistance. There we are. Slide that in and screw it in, and that's it. Unbelievable. And I mean unbelievable. There you go. Renthal bars can have bar weights. Actually, if I screw that round with the bar weight as well, that expands even better. Whoa. There you go. One bar weight. The original Suzuki bar weight fixed in with a rule plug, a big steel expanding rule plug. Right, that one works. That is going to improve handling no end. Let's sort the other side. Right, t'other side, a little bit more of a challenge. B&Q rule plug, £1.39. Up yours, Renthal. I love it. So getting this off first of all. I've already released that. Now this has got a plastic expander, and part of this mechanism is, just take that out of the way, this doohickey here. That's the expander, and it's got a brass thread in it, and this plastic thing is what expands. So what you can do with this, take the bolt out itself, easy, that fits just there, and that's still going to expand as it's told to do, and it's going to pull that in, which is going to expand that as well. So the whole lot's going to expand in there, and obviously all of that kind of collective length with that, that's what's all got to go in a line like that. And the greatest thing in the world, which is just fortuitous, and it's also got to have the bar weight on the end there as well, which I want still in place like that on the outside, so the mirror can still move independently. Look at the length of that screw. That's the original screw from the original Suzuki. You'd have to pay quite a bit for that. Chamfered, about 6 inches long. So you just poke that through all the different collective holes. Screws on neatly on the end. As long as you get a full nut in the end there, which you can lean on it a little bit if you need to, then obviously you can't lean on it if it's not a full nut because you'll screw the thread. But that should expand into there. Push that in, and then screw it away, and that will gradually expand all the contents of that, everything. And you've got the bar weight outside of your mirror. The mirror's still there, just held in line. Genius. I am Genius. I'll get that later. You just keep screwing it in until it goes tight enough, because obviously you still need movement on this mirror. If you're going up, downhill, you need to be able to move that up or down. So it's just adjustment. But the principle of what I wanted to show tonight was using a £1.39 rule plug in place of the Renthal 60 quid bar weight ends. I don't think they're that much actually, probably about 25 quid. But it's still a great deal more than a Renthal, than a rule plug from B&Q. And that is definitely in keeping with the bike. There it is. Still fitted, still working in the normal way. Nice and beef, ain't going anywhere. Nice set of bar weights. And that's the original half-pounder steel Suzuki bar weights, which are going to make a big difference to the handling. So it's not rattage tonight, it's just common sense motorcycle practice. And a ghetto fix, as one of you guys put it once. A brilliant term there, I love it. Proper ghetto fix. Rule plugs, B&Q, £1.39. Thanks for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. I'll see you next time.